Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel. It's John here on, well, a pretty murky day here in Lincolnshire. The inspector's had enough already. In this video, we are going to talk about something that people often overlook when they are restoring or making their classic or project car, just that little bit extra, and that is number plates. As you can see, I'm with the Rover 75, and it's at some point in its life had, well, those who shall not be named, but it sounds like roll frauds, number plates put on the car. If you look at the MOT history of the car, you can see that it has had MOT defects for defective number plates, and that is clearly why someone has gone to roll frauds and bought themselves a set of number plates. Now, this car is a 2000 plate car, it's a W plate, and in 2001, the font's slightly changed, and people like myself and car anoraks on the internet will know that that is not the right font. Also, you'll see the boot moulding here on the Rover 75 has sort of this smiley grille sort of thing. And so a square or rectangular number plate doesn't look the best. Now, the car was provided by SGL Preston back in 2000, and it would have originally had dealer number plates on. And for a lot of people, when that original dealer number plate has been lost, they just go down to roll frauds and just put a new one on because it's a number plate, right? But for a lot of people in the car community, people like myself and all over, they like to have originality, and it does, in my opinion, make the car look a little bit better, and it's that little final piece that really adds to the puzzle. It's something I like to look at, especially when I'm buying a car. Now, original number plates on a car do get me excited. That's a bit sad for some people, but for a lot of people, they've got this. They've got the roll frauds number plates on. So there's the next best thing, and that is replica plates. Now, again, with the Rover 75, we've got this smiley sort of rear badge here. It's on the Jaguar S-Type as well. They've got an unusual number plate style. And so getting that made is not too difficult now. But what is difficult is finding road legal replica number plates for your classic and project cars. I want to give a big shout out to Matt Dickens, and there'll be details of how you can contact him in the description below, for making me a set of period correct replica number plates, road legal replica number plates for the Rover 75. So in this video then, I'm going to open them, show you them, gush over them no doubt, and then fit them to the car. Okay, so I'm going to be really careful as well, because I know that Matt has included a dealer sticker. We'll talk about that in a separate video. I obviously don't want to cut through it. These have cost me around about £50. That's including the dealer sticker, and I paid that through PayPal to Matt. And I've previously used a company called Retro Plates, who do pretty much of a muchness. However, Matt reached out to me. He said, John, I can do the same, and he thinks his quality's better. So what I'm going to do is carefully, he says, take them out of the packaging and have a look at them. Now, as you can see, these number plates have been screwed into the car. I bloomin' hate that. And obviously, when you do a PDI inspection, the apprentice is probably just going to them into the car, and I understand that. One thing that really annoys me about number plates is when you see that they've been fitted and they're on a wonk. You know what I'm talking about? I can't get this out of here without ripping it open, so let's just rip this open. I was going to reuse the packaging, but I can't. Oh, I understand, they've been put in quite tightly. But again, I don't want to damage anything. So I'm going to gently open this. And Matt has been quite clever in taping them together to stop them from getting damaged in transit. He's done a really good job at wrapping things up, fair play. We're in. And I can see that, as I say, Matt has included me a dealer sticker. He also does replica dealer stickers. So if you need yourself one of them, you can also contact him and get one of those. I think they're about £10 printed. I'm going to gently remove this masking tape, because the last thing I want to do is damage my dealer sticker. Again, it will be in another video, but there is the dealer sticker that Matt has sent me. And I'll be fitting that at a later date to the car. So here they are then, here are the number plates. This is exciting for me. You can't really see too much, to be honest with you, because they've obviously got a protective coating on. But this is the rear smiley number plate, and it fits in this aperture there. Let's get the old plates off. Let's get the new plates fitted. I'm going to fit them with number plate adhesive, which is the adhesive strips, and I'm going to take this off and we're going to look at the new number plates on the car. They're awesome. And as you can see, the number plate inspector is here. She's going to help us fit these new number plates to the Rover 75. What do you think? Are they passed inspection? So as you can see, I've lined up the new number plates and Crystal's inspected them. I'm going to put them to one side whilst I remove the rear number plate. So like I said, it's just screwed in. My neighbour's doing something really noisy as well. And the screws haven't been in there that long because not only are they not rusty, but it hasn't damaged the plate. Normally water gets in, so I'd suggest this plate's been on the car maybe 2-3 years. Just going to loosen both of them off. Last thing I want is to undo one side and the plate whap about and damage the paintwork. And then also behind here we can have a look and see any evidence of if the plate has been previously screwed into the tailgate, or if it's been stuck, which might give us a little bit of history of if the car has had multiple plate changes. I'm expecting to see sticky residue behind here, but I don't think the team at Roll Frauds will have probably cared too much to clean that off. I'm making a pig's ear of this. Okay, so far so good. In fact, what I can see is that these are metal plates, which I've never had a set of number plates from Roll Frauds. But I've never seen a metal plate before, so that's interesting. I'll obviously put them to one side because if all goes wrong, I might need to use them at some point in the future. You can see that there's only 2 holes drilled into here.
They've never been stuck, have they?
I don't think so.
You can see the residue from the sticking.
I agree. The microphone inspector is here. Hello, what are you doing? Yes, I love you too. We're going to clean this up now because it would make absolutely no sense to stick number plates over this residue. Let's get that clean. Okay, so this is the point where lots of people on the internet end up shouting at me because everyone has their own way of doing stuff. The best way of doing this probably would be some brake cleaner to clean it off and get all the residue off. However, well, I don't have any brake cleaner at the moment because I've used it all. So what I'm going to do is use some waterless wax. This is where people are going to start shouting at me, just to clean this off. And some T-Cut. It's not T-Cut original, it's just T-Cut scratch remover. The whole point is just to take that edge off. I'm going to be careful as well because there's some sharp metal pieces there, so I don't want to get my fingers on the sharp metal. So there's not that much residue, it is just dirt. And I'm just going to gently wipe the T-Cut over it to remove that crap. And you can see it's doing the job. Yeah, it might be scratching the paint underneath, but actually you're not going to see it. But the last thing you want is residue. And one thing I've seen actually now I have cleaned that off is where the holes are in the tailgate. It's going rusty, and the paint is bubbling. which is not great. That isn't great at all, actually. But things could be worse. It could be posh rotten. So as you can see, I've tea-cut that off there. I've got all the residue off. I'll just give it a moment to haze back up again. And then I will clean it with the wash and wax. We'll line up the new plate and get it fitted. This Showroom Shine waterless wax stuff is just the cheap stuff that I'm using for this job. It's not something I would clean my car with if I was going to a show. It's by Greased Lightning, it's Showroom Shine. It's about 10 quid a bottle. We've had this bottle a long time. I'm just going to spray it on, wipe it off, and then degrease. This is just to make sure that if there is any nasties, it will remove that. And again, people will be shouting at me, John, this leaves a residue because it's got a wax. Yeah, it has, but I'm going to remove that in a minute. Polish that trim while I'm here. Polish all up in there. This is just an extra precautionary step to cleaning this area. Now it's time to fit the new number plate. And I'm just going to offer it up to see if there's any logical area that it fits in. And actually it does. There is a specific way that this fits. And you can see that it's pretty difficult to get wrong. The worst case scenario is you get it wonky. And a lot of people will mask this up, find the centre. What I find is if it looks right, it probably is. This is going to be difficult. This is going to be quite hard to do because it just fits in the slot.
That'll look smart.
Do you like it?
Well, some garages, you know, didn't spend the extra money to fit them.
Really?
Yeah. Some garages around here didn't put the big plates on.
When you say some garages,
I can't think who it was.
I'm using this to fit it. It's a foam number plate trim stuff. And I'm not going to apply it sparingly. I'm going to stick quite a big piece along the top, a bit down the side, a bit in the middle, and a bit on the bottom. It doesn't need to be neat, but it helps if it is neat. So I'm just gently placing a strip along the top there, and you don't want to press down too hard because this stuff can stretch, and when it stretches it doesn't fit properly. And one thing I would say is I'm doing this on a day where the temperature's a little bit lower. It's best practice to do this warm. This isn't the best way of doing this, because obviously I'm trying to film this at the same time. So as you can see, I've applied this quite liberally on here. You don't need this much, but better to be safe than sorry. Belt and braces, as my dad would probably say. The last thing you'd want is to be driving sensibly down the A16 towards Spalding at 60 miles an hour and your number plate fall off and hit the Kia Picanto behind you, especially when these are nearly 30 quid. Right, well, moment of truth. I'm going to sit on my stool to get to the right height. And the good thing is, when you peel this off, there is a little bit of wiggle room before it's stuck forever. Best case scenario is you do it right first time. When it comes to peeling these off, we need Mrs. John Coupland with her swanky fingernails or a sharp blade. Ooh, that's satisfying.
Oh.
Oh, lovely. Right. I'm probably going to be quiet while I do this because I don't want to cock it up.
Bob on those.
Sure?
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
That looks good. It's on. It's only gently on. And what I'm going to do is get my cloth, wipe over the number plate, pushing, 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 applying pressure to the top edge, the bottom edge, and the middle. And now, here comes the fun bit. Because at the moment, you might be thinking, John, this is all hazy. It's got a protective coating on it, of course. Come on down. Crystal's here. Hello, sweet pea. Taking off the protective coating, which has been installed at manufacture. And if you like ASMR, you're going to love that. Now I'm pretty chuffed with that. That's the rear number plate on, station, garage, Leyland and road legal because it's got a BSAU number on there and the postcode of where it was made. Matt, I think that's brilliant. And actually, that's changed the whole overall look of the car already, just fitting the rear number plate. I'm going to show you some close-ups of the number plate, then we're going to fit the one on the front. I am chuffed to pieces with that. Look at that. Station, garage, Leyland. That has, in my opinion, changed the look of the rear of this car entirely. And it's got the sign off by the number plate inspector. Fantastic. The outside inspector has gone in now. As you can see, I'm at the front of the car and there's actually some quite important spannering going on. No, it's not me replacing the front number plate. Dad's taking off the inlet manifold. There's so much stuff that Dad's done in the time that I've been at work. And we'll talk about that in another video. We're still doing number plates here. Yeah, exciting things happening on the Rover 75. Same again then, Rolf rods have fitted a number plate to the front. I don't suppose this is going to take too long, in all honesty. Chuck that on the floor. This one is not going to go very far. And again, we will clean up behind the number plate. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Taking this manifold off.
Oh, lovely.
Because I want to know whether that jiggle valve is okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I also want to know if the manifold gasket is okay.
Okay.
Somebody's definitely done it because I can see the scratch marks.
So we're going to have to get a manifold gasket, is what you're saying.
I think you've got one.
Fine. Okay, so there's the old number plate. It's off. Actually, what I can see here is some pegs where I would expect there to have been originally the factory number plate fitted. And there would have been a white peg that went in there and the screw would then open it up. Someone has just screwed into the bumper here. I'll clean that off, line it back up. Same again, I'm just going to stick it on with some adhesive. But there's the Halfords number plate. I've never seen metal Halfords number plates, have you?
Long time since I've seen metal plates.
Yeah, which is unusual. Right, I've got me stuff that people will end up shouting at me about, which is the T-cut and the showroom shine. And I'll just gently wipe this off first, because actually it was wet and you can see there's not too much residue actually at all on the front there. In fact, I am going to T-cut it. I wasn't going to. Right, so I'm just cleaning this off with a little bit of T-cut again. It's not really that dirty. If you haven't seen the video on the channel, by the way, of Dad's first reaction to the car, I suggest you check that out. It'll be in the top corner. Because actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
You paid me to say that.
And it's been quite a popular video, so if you have watched that video, thank you to everyone that's watched it. Obviously, we all know that Dad is the actual legend. He's the superstar. I'm just the guy that makes it look pretty. So that's nice and clean behind there. I'm going to just blast it off to make sure there's no water, because there was quite a bit of water behind that plate. As you can see, nice and clean. This is where the original number plate would have attached to. There's a little bit of micro blistering there on the paint there. I'm not too bothered about that because you won't see it, but Dad's in the process of taking off the inlet manifold. We'll have a look at that in a later video. But let's get this new one on. There's a challenge ongoing in the workshop. Can Dad remove the inlet manifold and the manifold quicker than I can fit a pair of number plates? And the answer is yes. Yes, he can. Right, okay. Make sure I've got it the right way around. And again, I'm only going to put 2 strips of tape on here. What I am going to do, because I
always use Magnuson torque wrenches from Screwfix.
People can't hear you. You didn't want your microphone on.
They can lip read.
So I'm only going to fit 2 strips on here. I think I've already said that. Because you don't need to go crazed here on the front. And I'm going to just do a test run, test fit, just see how it fits. So there is a right way and wrong way.
I thought it was white on the back.
Oh yeah, I've got it wrong. It fits flush to the top of the bumper here. So, as long as you get the distance right, you're cooking with gas. So peel the tape off top, peel the tape off bottom, and the number plate needs pushing right up to the top, which I can do, and get the distance right. Feels good to me. Now let's push it down, make sure it's nice. That is equidistant to that. That corner is good there, and it's nice and flush along the bottom there. Right, now it's the moment of truth to take the plastic tape off, the plastic protection off. Again, if you like your ASMR, here we go. Oh, that's nice and satisfying. There we go. Front number plate fitted. Station, garage, Leyland, road legal, pre-2001 font on the Rover 75. Well, there you have it then. In my opinion, the importance of fitting replica dealer number plates to your car. In my opinion, and actually in Dad's opinion as well. That has changed the look of the car, front and back. We've got the original dealer logo on there. We've got the original font, and you can see the difference that it makes, and in my opinion, top banana. Hello, Dad's in the back there. For 50 quid, yeah, it's quite an expensive mod, I suppose, or an upgrade, but also, in my opinion, does a world of difference to your car. And if you are trying to get your car looking perfect for show season or just for originality, and a set of these plates are just what you need. I'm going to throw these squarely in the bin actually, because they're pretty horrible. Or, as Dad quite rightly says, you can save one for your trailer, not that we've got a tow bar fitted. If you've enjoyed this video and want to get yourself a set of plates, I will leave a link to how you can contact Matt in the description below. I will also talk about him on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok and the usual. So if you want to find me there and find him there, you certainly can do. Let me know in the comments below. I know it's not running right at the moment, but what do you reckon? Is it worth the 50 quid? Let me know. Thanks to everyone that's already subscribed to the channel. You are absolute legends, as you know. There's so much more still to come, including probably some head gasket work, but we shall see. The inlet manifold is off, the radiator is off. We've got so much to do with the car. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.